Hello, this is Brian Resney, President of Resney Wealth Management. I'm bringing another important update about the economy and the investment markets, so hopefully you can do what's right for your retirement and your portfolio. You know, every single week we continue to receive just dozens and dozens of phone calls from our radio listeners, and not only do we get questions from them through emails and on the radio show, but of course we continue to get and add new clients to Resney Wealth Management. A lot of investors out there are confused, they're scared. The advice they're getting is questionable at best, and unfortunately, too many investors sometimes don't realize that if you keep doing, the same things with your portfolio, if you keep getting the same, bad advice, and you keep investing in the same bad investments and expecting different results, unfortunately, the only way you're going to turn around your portfolio is you need to change the direction of the advice you're getting. So if the advice you are getting is questionable, if it's not working, if it hasn't worked in 5 or 10 years, what's going to change in the next 5 or 10 years? I had a gentleman hire me this week at our office in Fort Myers, and he said, Brian, I haven't made any money. In fact, I'm down quite a bit in the last 10 years. And I asked him for a copy of his investment strategy from the advisor that he was currently using, and he said, well, I'm working with a big Wall Street firm. And I asked him for that, as a matter of fact, and he says, well, I'm actually acting as a broker. And this individual said, well, I thought you call yourself an advisor. And he says, well, that's our title, but we don't actually have an investment strategy for you. So again, I go back to the same old, which is if you expect different results than you've already gotten and you don't change your strategy or get better advice, whatever it may be, don't expect anything different in your retirement portfolio. You really need to think about that. So the best advice I'm going to give you today is don't expect different results if you keep doing the same things over and over with your portfolio. If the strategy you're currently using is not working, it hasn't worked in 5 or 10 years, it's probably not going to work in the next 5 or 10 years. If the investments you currently have are not going in the right direction, or you're finding you're getting mediocre results at best, again, you need to change for the positive. Now with that, I'm going to tell you this. We're seeing data points in the U.S. that continue to get a little bit better, as I've stressed in the last month and a half, 2 months. China's GDP growth came out yesterday at 8.9%, better than expected. Currently in our Global Tactical Opportunity portfolio, our GTOP portfolio, we're in the main 5 sectors that were relatively strongest at the beginning of this month. Each and every month, we look at our portfolio, we look at all the sectors around the world, and we rank those based upon our proprietary formula. Those then go into our client portfolio management. And when we have one that's weaker than another, it gets replaced month in and month out. You need to have an investment strategy, and you need to follow it. Now, what our Global Tactical Opportunity portfolio does, we use a relative strength strategy, just so you have an understanding. Relative strength has been proven over time to be very a good indicator on where things are headed. Relative strength has actually also proven over time to be an excellent opportunity for upside potential and to reduce or mitigate risk in a portfolio, because as you take relatively weak sectors out of your portfolio that are trending down, you are replacing those with sectors that are relatively stronger. Now, one of those sectors could actually be cash. It could be anywhere from precious metals to short the market, meaning if the market's going down in a recession, that means short the market, you would profit from the market going down. All of these asset categories should be within a portfolio opportunity. Doesn't mean it's in your portfolio today, but when they're relatively stronger than others, again, investments are either going up or relatively strong, or they're going down and are relatively weak. The weaker sectors do not belong in your portfolio. A great analogy that I can use, if you golf at all, the average golfer should have 14 clubs in his bag. When you go to the golf course, you do not use every single club, all 14 evenly. You will use the ones that are most appropriate. That's unfortunately what people do not do with their portfolio. They basically are sold a myriad of investments or buy a bunch of different investments. It's typically a buy and hold strategy. They may rebalance that portfolio once a year or twice a year, but you have all the bad investments and with all the good investments, which basically waters down your return. So again, if an investment's trending down or it's relatively weak, it would be out of your portfolio. And if they're relatively strong, and that could include cash for safety, they would be in the portfolio. So again, whatever your strategy is, make sure you do have one. And if you're expecting different results out of the same strategy that hasn't worked, unfortunately, that's not going to work in the future. This is Brian Resney. If you have questions about your portfolio, if you're concerned about your money, I urge you to call my office, set up a consultation, find out how our global tactical opportunity portfolio can work in up markets, down markets, sideways markets. It doesn't matter. We'll show you how our portfolio strategy works, why it's different than what you're doing today. So if you're at all concerned about your money, you're looking for a second set of eyes or opinion, call our office if you're serious about your money and you'd like to talk to us about our services. I guarantee you it's different than what you're doing today, and I think you'll be very happy talking with us and finding out why maybe you should be making a change today. Call our office at any time. This is Brian Resney. Make sure you have yourself an extremely profitable day.